Hi guys. Hi Fiona. How you doing, my love? I'm just finishing my cuppa, and we'll get started. As I said in the post, it's a little bit impromptu. I haven't planned anything, but never mind. Hey, how is everyone? It's a glorious day here. I hope it's nice where you are. We have blue skies. Oh, a few people coming in. Marvellous. Hi Diane, how are you? I'll give it another minute or so. I don't know if you've all read the or seen the link. I've now put the first two lives about these templates in a section on our website, because obviously in time they will just disappear down the news feed in the group. So I've put a link into them so it's easy to find them if you want to have a look in the future when you fancy having a play with your templates. Hi Shell, how are you? Hi Sandra. So yeah, they're in the website. When I've done this live, I will link this one in there as well. And hi Jan. Oh, brilliant. Are you? Oh, fabulous. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'll link this one in there as well. And then as I do more of these, I'll link them all in. So you'll have the whole list of them there that you can pop up. What I might do actually, because at the moment I'm just saying it's Facebook Live 1, Facebook Live 2, etc. I might try and put a little description against each one so you know what they're about. Right, we have a few in. So I shall start. As always, these lives don't get deleted. They're always there for you to look back whenever you want to. Any questions, fire away. I may not necessarily see them come up on the feed, but I will definitely answer them afterwards. Today, what I want to go through with you is this template, this particular one. Just to show you how you can use this one. And I also want to show you as well, if you haven't got double-sided paper, how you would use these templates. Because not everybody's got double-sided paper. You don't need to have. And you might want to make these pages up and then decorate other bits of paper to put on them. So, you obviously don't want it double-sided then in that case. So what we've got, first of all, this is a piece of A4 card. It can be whatever thickness you like to work with, doesn't matter. I've got a bone folder, which is quite useful. However, if you've got an embossing tool, or if you just got the edge of a credit card or something like that, it's just to score and then enhance your folds. That's all you need it for. You don't have to have all the proper tools. I'm going to use a pencil and mark out all the lines. Now the reason why I'm doing this is so you can actually see what I'm doing. The score lines I wouldn't normally mark out in pencil because you don't want them showing there afterwards, but as this is for the sake of a demo, I'm going to do that. And you'll need either a pair of scissors or a knife, whatever you prefer. So first of all, what we'll do is I'll lay the template so it's lined up at the bottom and the left-hand edge, and you can see here that the template is too long for the piece of paper. That's absolutely fine. Okay, we're going to deal with that. So first of all, we'll trace around the edge of the template. I'm going to be fairly rough about this. Obviously, if you're doing it, you can take a little bit more care. And then for the sake of the demo, I'm going to draw lines down the score lines like that. Okay, so you are left with this shape, which I'll now cut out very quickly. I haven't pre-prepped anything, So I'll be working at a bit of speed, or as fast as I can anyway. So you're not sitting there just watching me cutting things out all the time. And then obviously you might prefer to use a knife to do this, or a bigger pair of scissors. These were the only ones I happen to have floating around. How's everybody enjoying all the fabulous lives that are coming up on Facebook at the moment? There are loads. Lots and lots of people very happy to give up their time to do these lives, which is fabulous. Okay, so I'll just neaten that little edge up because it's a little bit scrappy. Like that. Right, so you're left with this little bit, but we will need that bit in a minute. Then what we need to do is just score down these lines. I don't know if I've got a ruler to hand. You don't have to have a ruler. You can pop this back over and then just run those down there like that. And like that, and like that, and then we'll fold that like that. This is where something is quite useful, just to really squish your folds down. That's pretty good. Fold that over like that. And then that one like that for now. Now, what you'll notice is I haven't quite folded it exactly square, okay? If you do that as well, don't worry. All you need to do is just take a teeny weeny amount off the bottom of your page, like this. Do it a bit neater than I'm doing it. And then that levels it all off, okay? Oh, make sure I'm in camera. That levels it all off. Take a little bit more off there. Like that. Right. So that's the basis of your page. But of course we're missing this piece here. Excuse my phone going off. I'll get that later. So what we'll do now, I better just check in case somebody's warning me of something that I'm doing wrong or something. No, it's fine. It's somebody who I know won't be watching this. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to create this last piece, which obviously goes there like that. So what we'll do is on this piece that you've got left over, you just want to draw around that one section. So there. And there, like that. Put that to one side, and then we can cut this out. Like that. Excuse me, coughing. Right. So that now, as you can see, will fit over there like this. So that obviously will glue onto that tab. Now, we will be doing something else with this tab shortly. I will show you that in a little while. But you can see how easy it is just to create this panel, even if you've only got A4 paper. I'm going to move my phone because it keeps dinging at me. Bear with me. I'll move it over there, and it won't distract me too much. I should have turned the sound down, really. So that's that. Right, so now you've got your basis of your template. Oh, what we can just do is we can just pop the holes in. So you just mark those out. And these holes, as I've said before, they match up with a normal ring binder mechanism. Okay, so there's nothing unusual about the size. You don't have to use the holes. If you're going to use a binding system or something like that, then absolutely don't put the holes in like this. I'll just do this with a crocodile. That's like that. Okay, so now we want to obviously use some papers. So what I'm going to do next is I have got some here. What have I done? Have I covered them up? No, right. So this is just a piece of pattern paper on one side, and I want to use that. So what I'm going to do now is I'll get my template and I'll turn it over on the back because we don't want the any marks around the edge, although we will be cutting it down slightly. You need to look at your piece that you're going to be doing, and you'll see that you're going to have the paper on the front of this piece. Sorry, I keep going out of shot. This is me being stupid. Right, okay. You want it to obviously, so the slope is going to go that way for the patterned side. So if you don't want any pencil marks, you want to make sure that you draw round your template going the other way, okay, because you're drawing on the back. So when you flip it over, it will be the right way round. So we'll just mark that out like that, and then I'll cut this out. Right. So as you can see on this one, at the moment, that fits nicely over the top like that. But I don't want it to fit exactly over the top. I quite fancy having a little bit of a white border. So I'm going to just turn it over, and literally you just want to trim an equal amount off round each side. You can measure it if you're not keen on eyeing it in. That's not a problem. So just cut that off around there. Put that out the way, and then you see that will fit over there like that. Can you see that? Yeah, that will fit over there like that. Now what I also like, which you've probably seen me doing a lot, is I like to just enhance the edges with a bit of ink. So I've got a little bit of archival and a sponge, which I believe is courtesy of Fiona. Thank you, my love. And I'm just going to enhance the edges a little bit here. Like that. And then I'm going to do the same with this piece. Just catching the edges. You don't need to go too far in. Like that. And then you can see that will look like that once that's glued on, which I shall do in a minute. Right, so that obviously will fit on there like that, which is fine, absolutely not a problem, okay? When we turn it over, you can see where your flap is here. I will be doing something with this flap because I want to cover it up. I don't want to, oh, morning Leslie, hello love. I don't want it showing, but we'll do that in a second. So the next stage is we want to put something over this next panel. Now, what you need to bear in mind is with this particular template, you can, if you want to, you can seal these edges. So it just creates pockets going in that are sealed down the edges. If you do that, you only actually need to put a little bit of paper at the top because you're not going to see it right down the bottom. But on this particular case, I don't want to do that. I want to leave it all open. So I want to actually put a piece going over this section. So what we do, again is we grab a piece of paper. This time I'm going to go with a blue, and I'll turn that over. And as I said before, you've got your piece slanting that way, so you actually want to do it in reverse with the template. So when you flip your paper over, it will be the right way round. So let's grab the template. What I've done with it, there it is. And that needs to go like that. Get that hair out of the way. Move this up a bit so you can see what I'm doing. And then again, I'm just drawing around with a pencil like that so you can see. And then I'll cut that out. Like that. Put that to one side. And then when we flip that over, you can see that fits over the top of that. But as before, I do want to have a little bit of white space around the edge, as I've done with the pink piece. So what you can do if you're doing checkered paper, of course, you can cut from the front, so you can actually see where you're cutting. But you might have a really busy pattern and it might be difficult. So it's easier to actually cut it from the reverse side. You can kind of gauge how much you want to cut off all the way around, and you only need literally just a little bit. And that edge. And that edge. Whoops. Okay, so I'll get those out of the way, and you can see that that fits in quite nicely on there. Right, so I'll do like I did before, this time with a bluey ink pad, and we'll just go around the edge like that on that one. And then I want to go around the edge of this one. So literally just keep the paper folded so you don't go over onto the other side. And then down the edge there. Right, so let's get those out of the way. And then you can see that that piece fits on there like that. Okay, right, so I have done that right, haven't I? Yeah. Do you know, I was starting to doubt myself then. I thought, oh no, she's messed up already. No, that's fine. So that one that's all stuck down, that's what that's going to look like that. So again, we can follow on with this piece if we want to. So we can go back to the pink. My apologies, this is a little bit repetitive, but if you didn't quite catch the beginning of the video, or if you weren't quite sure what I was doing, sometimes it's good to repeat. Again, this one I want on this panel here, so that's slanting down that way. I'm going to trace round on the back, so I want to flip the template over and then pop that on there. In fact, what I could do, just to try and save paper, not that it matters, is actually put that there where I've cut one before, like that, and we can draw around that piece. Whoops, just slipped a little, like that. Get that out of the way. And then we'll cut this out. Move that out the way. So then going back to your template, that now fits over the top of there. But as before, I want to just trim them down because I want to that little bit of white space round the outside. That's that. Okay, so now you can see that that fits in with a little bit of white space round each side, which I think looks quite nice. Go back to our ink and very quickly go around the edge again as we've done on the other pieces. Like that, and then I'll just move that out the way. We'll do, you see, you want to bend this back like that so you don't go over onto the other page. Just go around the edge like that, and then turn that around the edge like that, and along the bottom. Pop that out the way, and then that will go in there like that. So far we have these pieces like this. Okay, so obviously we've got the last one to do as well. I may do that in a second. I wanted to just show you other things that you can do now you've got this far. Let me just grab some glue and I will glue these panels on. If I can get some glue out of my pot, and I'll glue the panels on, and then I'll show you how you can sort out the backs as well. I need to actually put it on. I'm in such a mess here. I need to tidy up. So. Excuse the whooshing sound, that's my glue. Right. Okay, I'm having a flush now, I've got to take my jacket off, bear with me. Joys of age. Right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just pop a bit of glue on the back of this one. I'll be fairly rough with it because, you know, I'm not expecting a perfect result here. When you do it at home, obviously you can be a little bit more careful. I'll pop that on there like that. Can you see that? Yeah. And then that piece is obviously going to go on there. So I'll pop that there like that. On there. I do like to use a wet glue because you can reposition, but if you're, you know, fairly comfortable with it all, you can just use your tapes and things. Right. And probably for this sort of thing you could also make, you could also use a glue stick if it was a reasonable one, because you're not sticking heavy board or anything. Right, so we'll pop that on there like that. Okay, so that now looks like that. So I'll just pop that out of the way for a second. Right. So what I want to do now is obviously because I'm not sealing it, it's all going to open out, you see. So I want to decorate the reverse side. So what I'm going to do with this particular one here, this bit here, I obviously need to stick this tab to this, but I want to cover up this bit. So what I'll do is I'm going to cut this down so you've only got a small tab, because you don't need to have a really big tab. So I'll pop that down like that. And then I'm going to cut a little angled piece off of the top and bottom of the tab. Like that. I really need better scissors. That's it. Like that. Get that out the way. So you've still got enough surface there to glue that down. All right, so we shall do that first and then we'll go on to the next bit. So I'll just get a bit of my glue, pop some on the tab, like that, and then pop that on there so it all lines up. Like that. Just let that set for a second. Let's grab a baby wipe. I've got messy fingers now. And I'll get everything messy, knowing me. Right, so there we go. So now you see you've got this little bit here that you want to cover up. So we have other ways that we can do this. With using some of the other templates. So we've got a tag here. Now at the moment that's too long, okay, we don't want it as long as that, but we do want to use the fold in it. So what we do is we get a piece of paper that we want to use. I'm going to use the blue. We can draw on the back. In fact, no, for the demonstration, I'm going to draw on the front, and then you can see where I'm coming from. But when you do it at home, do it in reverse. So we obviously want to have this angled piece on it at the top, but we want to have that fold line on it at the bottom. Okay. So if you just put your piece of paper over the top of that, and then you can line that up there with the edge, so you know you're not sticking out over the edge. All right, then we can draw around that tag like that. I'm not going to use the hole this time. And then take that away, and then you slide the tag along so you've got the bottom end that's level with that side, and then you can pop in your score line like that. All right, so we'll now cut that out. So this again means how versatile it is, because you're not using the tag to the size that it is in the template. You're creating something that's more bespoke and suits your journal. Okay, so we cut that out like that. Get that out of the way. We'll do a little fold over like that on that line. If you've done it on the back, you wouldn't see this score line. Now, again, I'm going to get a little bit of ink. Put this around the edge like this. And I think just to do a little bit more, I'm going to fold that over the other way and just run a little bit of ink down there and down that side. So now what you can create here is you can now stick this into the back of that flap. So underneath you could put a photo, you can put some journaling, but what it's done is it's covered up that little join there, so you don't even know it's there. All right, so I'll run a little bit of glue down there. like that. And then we'll pop that over there. So that all still folds. You can't see it under there, but then when somebody opens it out, you've got this nice little opening where you can add your journaling and things like that. So that's that one. Okay, so now we want to do something on the back of this one. All right, so what I thought we could use is this template. So what you can do is you don't have to use the whole template. So the way we do this, I think I'll go with the pink this time. Again, I'll do it on the front just so you can see what I'm doing, but you may want to do it on the back on yours. So what we'll do, I only want to use this part, don't need that bit at all. So I'll lay that on there like that. And then I'm going to trace round this edge like this. And then across there like that. And then we'll cut this out. Now I did have a little circle punch somewhere. I'll probably put it somewhere where I'm not going to find it, so I might have to cut it out with scissors, which is typical, but there you go. Right, so let me cut this out like this. Like that. So let's get that out of the way before I cut out the circular bits. So we lie that down on there like that, and then you can see you don't want it sticking up at the top, so just pop it underneath, make sure it's level with the bottom, fold that back down like that, and then draw a line along there like that. And then we're going to cut that out like that. So that now fits down there. Now if I could find my circle punch, I would punch those out. What I might do, just as I've got it to hand, is I might use my square one. I'll see if it comes up. See, this is the other thing. You don't have to use a circular one just because the template's circular. If you've got a square punch, then you use a square one. So I've got a square one here. Don't know if you can see what I'm doing there. And we'll just cut that out like that. Cut that out like that. Get rid of those. And then again, oh, not that colour, that colour. I'm going to just ink around the edges. Like that. Right, pop that away. And then that now will fit in there. Now that in itself is quite pretty. You could just glue that down like that if you wanted to. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just run a little bit of glue just round the outside edge, round there. Stop going out of shot. My apologies. May as well go and sit in the garden if I'm not going to sit under the camera. Right, so we can just glue that down like that. And then, whoops, That's better. And then excuse the inky bits on there, it's because I've got mucky fingers. Right, so I'll leave that there like that, and then you can take your smaller tag, see if I can find a template for it. I had them all laid out earlier, and now I'm in a real mess. Okay, so you can get your smaller tag. That one is fine. I don't know if you can see that. And then we'll get the blue paper, and you just do it on the back, trace round 2 of these. That's the one. And this time I'm not going to use the score lines, so leave those off. But what we can do is we can just use the little hole this time, like that. And then get my scissors. And I shall cut these out. Out the way. Excuse my phone ringing if you can hear that. It's nothing important. Right, that's that. And then I will get the crocodile and we will just make a hole in there and a hole in there. Get our blue ink, go around the edges here, and that one. And what you could do at this stage, if you wanted to, I haven't got any to hand, but if you had some ribbon, pop a little bit of ribbon through these holes, and then you can see that they will slip in there like that. Okay. So far we've got your little book on the back there, and then you open out and you've got your 2 little tags there. You've got your next one here. So if you want to put something on the back of there, what we can do is, let's have a look at what the templates we've got. Okay, so we've got this little template, which is really sweet. So I shall just trace round, I think we'll do it twice. So I'll do a couple in pink. So we'll trace around that pencil. There it is. That's one. This is great as well for using up all your little scraps. You know, don't throw away all your little scraps of paper, because you'll get to use them for your little tags and things. Draw around that one. I forgot to do my little fold line. Like that. So then we'll cut those out. Get that out of the way, that big piece. Now it looks a little bit messy because I've got all my pencil lines. If you're doing it, you can do it a lot lighter. And be a lot more careful with it. Let's cut that one out. Like that and like that. Now you have a choice with these. This is where double-sided paper do come into their own a little bit, but this looks quite nice with the white. You can fold these up along those lines like that. So you can either have a patterned top and a white back, or if you go the other way, you've got a patterned base and a white top like that. If you had double-sided paper, obviously you'd get the pattern on the other side showing over. Right, so what we'll do, I'm going to do one of each. Let's just, again, trusty ink around the edges. Like that. Around that edge like that. And along there like that. And then we'll do the same with this one. Like that. Along there. And round there. And then what we can do with these is we can stick them down like this. So I'll just get a bone folder and just enhance that crease a little so it sits a bit flatter. Like that. And then with the glue, I'm just going to go round those two edges there. That's all. All right, so you're leaving the flat bit unglued at the top. So a little bit of glue. For this type of thing, actually, probably your thin red liner tape is better. So you get a clean line on it. We'll pop that one there like that. Got ink on my fingers. This is why it's all going over my artwork. Right, let's get rid of that. And then we'll do the same with this one. On there. And along there like that. And then we'll pop that one there. And then to finish those off, you get your smallest tag. It doesn't matter whether it's the rounded top or the slightly squarer one, but they actually fit quite nicely in these pockets. So what we'll do is we'll get the blue paper, and I shall draw round these. Again, we'll do the hole, but we won't do the score mark or the crease line. And there like that. I cut these out. Move it out of the way. The other thing as well that you can do, if you have a corner chomper, you can just cut these tags square, and then you can just use your corner chomper. So if you've got any like pretty pattern corners, you know, the little, what are they called? Little punches that punch out nice little fancy corners, by all means use those. You know, you don't have to follow the lines exactly. You can just adapt to whatever other things you have. So we'll just punch a couple of holes. That one. That one. Make sure that's all stuck down. Yeah, that's fine. Go with a bit of blue ink just around the edge. Like that. And then around the edge like that. And while we're at it, I'm just going to do a little bit of the pinky ink around the edges here. So just around there like that. Along the bottom. Down there like that. And then just along that edge there. Like that. Okay. And then these you can just slide in like that, which looks quite nice, I think. So that's that part. So now looking at it all, you've obviously got your plainer fronts, which there's nothing to stop you from putting your embellishments or anything you want to do on these, you know, photos, whatever you want to put there. You've got your little fold over page there. You open that up to get your two little tags there, and then you open that up to get your two little tags there. So the last page to decorate is obviously this main one. This again, you can do what we did right at the very start. So we can get a piece of blue paper. Let's move that out the way for a second. Get the blue. We'll trace round this one. Like that. But don't worry about the holes at the minute. We'll cut that out. Move that over. Bring this back. So obviously that would cover, which you could, if you wanted to, you could just have that covering the whole lot. And if you do that, then obviously you need to punch through your holes. So the easiest way is before you stick it down, just trace through from the back where you've already punched your holes there, so you know where they're going to be, and then put it that way. Or the other alternative is you can actually cut it back so it actually fits in, leaving this clear. But I actually quite like the fact that it's covering all of it. So I'm just going to trace through there and there. We'll punch those out. And then I'll fit over there like that. And then what I'll do is get some more blue, because I've nearly run out on there. And I shall put plenty of glue on here. Like that. Right up to the edges, because obviously it'll all curl back otherwise. Like that. And then we shall pop that over there like that. Just make sure it shuts. Yeah. Give it a good press down with clean fingers preferably. Like that. And then it's okay. And then we'll just literally go around the edge with a bit of blue ink here, just to finish that off. Like that, and down that edge, like that. Okay. So that's that like that. And essentially, that's it complete. But of course, that's going to go into your book, and you're going to have all this interest here, which is wonderful. But then when you turn your page over, you're going to have this blank sheet here. Now, there's other things you can do. You can do a repeat of that and literally just glue it onto the back of this, so you've got another one coming out. Or you can use one of the other templates, for instance. So we could use this template. So what you would do is grab a piece of paper, whichever colour you like. We'll trace around this one, bearing in mind, just remember, you've got to have the holes on this side because you're covering it up this way. So just check before. Somebody just flushed the loo. No, it's definitely not Tony. He's out in the garden. So Kelly, it's you. Come on, admit. Okay. It goes like that and like that. And that's where the perforations are, so we want to cut that out as well. Right, so that's traced round there. We cut this out. Yeah, see, now I told you I was going to do mess ups. And I've completely messed that up. The reason being, yes, you do want to do it with your holes on there because you're going to cover that up. But that is actually the wrong way round, because when I flip it over, it will be wrong. So, haha. Let me do it on this side so I know I'm doing it right. We all make mistakes. It's fine. I'm only human. Okay. So trace that along there. You need your 2 holes in there. You need to cut out that little groove, and that's your score lines there and there. Right. Start again. Like that. Cut that out along there. That one. Right, I'll just move those out the way. We shall punch these little holes out here. We need to cut out this little slot here. Like that. And I'll just do that with that one. And then these score lines, let me just score them a little bit more with my bone folder, wherever it's gone. There it is. Like that. Like that. So we'll score those back like that. That one back like that. Just enhance that crease. And then I'll just get again our trusty bit of ink around the edges. like that. I'll just do around the edges of these flaps as well. And along that edge, around there and along there, like that. So that's like that. You can, if you want to, pop a little bit of glue just on the back of those two, like that, just so they stick down, like that. And then that will stick over the top of that. Now you have a choice here. You can, if you want to, you can leave that white if you want to. You might be using coloured card, so it's fine. You can put another pattern paper over that if you want to. I'm going to leave it white. And then what you need to do is you need to run glue down that side and that side. You could run, no, we just do those two sides actually. I think that's about right. Let me get a little bit more glue out. So we'll run a bit of glue down here. Again, this will be a good time to use your tapes rather than wet glue. Like that. I'll just clean my hands a little bit. And then that will pop over there like that. Oh, there's a bit of ink on there. That's it. Right, so that's that. But because you've only glued round the edges, this has now become a pocket. So we can now get, I keep leaving bits of ink. Try and get that off my fingers. We can now get another one of our tags, like this one for instance, and we can draw around that. And you can do 2 or 3, they'll fit in there quite nicely. So let's do those in pink. So, doesn't quite fit there. Let's draw around there. Like that, we want the hole. Then cut this out. Like that. Out of the way. Punch our hole. Again, you can get yourself a bit of ribbon or something that you can put through there. Bit of ink around the edges. Like that. And then that will fit in there. So looking at the whole page, you've obviously got your flap open pieces. So that flaps open. You've got your little book. Got a bit of glue there stuck. You've got your little pull-out tag that you can put things behind. You can put pictures, whatever you like on there. Open that out to your 2 little tags. Then you've got another blank area. Open that out to 2 more little tags there. You've got all this space that you can journal on, do whatever you like. And then because it's going in your book, you want some interest on the back. So I've just used one of the other templates to do that on the back. So that's just using it, literally a handful of the templates. I won't show you any more today. I will do them in sections, and I'll try when I save the templates, the links to the website, I'll try and put a little description underneath so you know which templates I'm referring to. And then that way, when you want to have a play yourself with your templates, you can just pull up the relevant live. And I will gradually go through everything, so you'll have a full bank of tutorials there that you can look at. So that's it for today, and hopefully I'll be back very soon with some more for you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a lovely day and a lovely weekend, and I shall be back soon. Bye bye for now.